I don't know if I've ever seen it that good.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of a little.
Yeah, we should have used.
I'm willing to go up.
Yeah, we did the thing at the library that one time. We have a basket that goes in front of the loader.
Okay,
that you can ride in.
I would, willing to do that.
We can do something like that.
Okay. Just we just have to have it come down on somebody,
Yeah,
and it's probably half ice now.
like later this week sometime.
Yeah, because it's been time.
Fall off the loader.
Okay, but we were down at desks. So it's not a good thing. So we put it in.
Yeah, it should be Friday morning or something.
Oh, Carol Burnett, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said, get on that.
All encompassing.
I was cleaning in the basement. I was taking it out. And I squeezed juice directly. My phone ring was like, So when I thought, I called her and she said, I was in your thought it was 1 hour.
Yes.
I slept in for Saturday. She did it. She said, I got over.
Yeah. You got that camera on already?
It's 5 o'clock.
My wife just called me out
Why?
on the phone. You got a phone on my ear? Oh, boy.
What happened to the old days?
Yeah, I heard that camera should come on at 5. When that hammer hits, that's when it needs to come on. Like right now. We'll call this meeting to order at 5 o'clock. Roll call.
Hoheisel.
Here.
Lassie.
Here.
White.
Here.
Anderson, absent. Lassie.
Here. There's the lead.
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any public input today? Yeah, I would like to just say one thing for public input. I watched the last couple of meetings over the YouTube of Babbitt, and if we don't talk into these things, we can't hear. So please, everybody, use their mics today. Thank you. Thanks, Paul. Additions or deletions? First thing we have is faculty restrooms. Facility restrooms. And we will put that. New business and EF, new business. Moving on to consent agenda. Oh, we got a motion.
I'll move to accept the additions.
I'll second that.
Moved by Jim. Seconded by Joe. To move it to letter F on new business. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 6, consent agenda. Approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 7th, 2023, and the special meeting of March 14th, 2023. B, approval of the bills and payrolls as audited by the audit committee. C, overtime report. D, summary of funds. C, correspondence. And Under that, Iron Range Mayor's letter of opposition to public land order number 7919.
Move to adopt the consent agenda?
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Moved by Jim, second by Paul. Roll call.
Hoheisel,
Yes.
Lassie,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Anderson absent, Lawson.
Yes. Moving on to number 7, attorney's report. With overtime.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, so I looked at the union contracts, and, so the question was whether the city council could direct, so you have certain employees who you have regularly attend your city council meetings. The question posed was whether the city council could direct that they would work essentially a different schedule I'm assuming basically on city council meeting days, so that the city would not have to incur overtime expense for them attending the meetings. So the answer to the question is yes, you can do that. There is nothing in the union contract that prohibits the city council from making that directive. In fact, the actual language in the contracts is very secure, or very strong, under what we call the management rights language or employer security language. It says that the employer retains the full and unrestricted right to establish work schedules. And another part of the contract, and in all the contracts, it talks about the employer, which is the city council, has the sole authority in work schedules. And the only caveat to that is, under the contracts, if you are gonna change employees' schedules to accommodate for the days when they would be attending a city council meeting in the evening, if you're gonna impose a schedule change in that regard, you do have to give 48 hours notice of that. So the bottom line is, it's really up to you as a council to decide whether you wanna do that or not, in order to essentially modify their schedules to avoid the overtime cost. So that's my report on that. And then, so you can take that up as a council as a separate item, whether you want to actually take that action or not. Then the only other item I had to report is there was the Team Center responsibility form for people who are using the Team Center or are going to be asked to fill out and sign this new responsibility form. I reviewed it. I think it's perfectly fine. And if the council is inclined to use this, it's perfectly fine. So that's all I have to report on.
Thanks, Mitch.
Hey, could I comment, just what Mitch brought up about the scheduling employees? I think just as past practice, and I don't know, Paul, if you were here then, we did require them to attend, I think it was just the first meeting of the month. You remember that, Tony?
And or if there's items on the agenda, right, so it was requested that department heads require attend the first meeting of the month. However, if there's agenda items of their interest on the second meeting, that they would attend that one as well.
Yeah, this is just information for the council as they consider what to do as far as scheduling. So, but that's where we're at right now. First meeting of the month is mandatory.
Are we allowed to discuss this right now? I mean, can we throw a couple other things out there in this? I'd like to have them be able to, like, not necessarily on a day if Tony has to come to a meeting, because that might be a busy day for him, but be able to flex his hours within that week. Like, if he has to come to a meeting and he can't take the time off on the day of the meeting, he could take off Friday afternoon, or whatever works for the employee within that pay period or something. I don't know if what we'd have to do to allow that, so it's kind of user friendly for them too. So if they have a huge workload on the day of a meeting or something, they can still.
Mayor, you can do that, you can direct that, you can work with the employee to try to figure out a schedule that works in that regard on weeks when there's gonna be a city council meeting. And by the way, that is how a number of cities actually handle it, is that they, they have department heads who are expected to be at a city council meeting. And essentially what they do is they just have the department heads flex their schedule during that same week. Or sometimes it's during the same pay period, but typically here, because you do have department heads who actually get paid overtime, are overtime eligible employees, you would want it, if you're gonna do the flex or have them flex it, you would want to have it done in the same week. And you could leave it to their discretion as to when they want to flex, but that is the way that's pretty common on how it's handled. Yep.
The other thing, just in talking with other people in the same position that we are, is that they don't make they make a monthly meeting mandatory. I mean, and I don't know if that would be something that'd be advantageous if there's nothing going on the first the first meeting of the month. They could wait till the second one unless we requested them. By then there might be something that we need to, it might save having them have to come to 2 meetings a month. And that's just worth some thought, maybe. If we're gonna tweak this a little bit, we might as well look at all the other areas that could be beneficial to both them and also in the community. So do we do that, put that on the agenda for next time to make the decisions on?
Right, if the council's inclined to possibly take some action on that, then you would just put it on the next city council meeting for possible action. Yeah.
Thank you.
And the other thing too is just, it might not hurt, just a suggestion on that, if you do have a personnel committee, maybe a personnel committee of the council could meet with the employees, the affected employees in advance of the meeting and talk about an arrangement that might be acceptable. You're not required you don't have to negotiate over it. You're not required. It's not a mandatory subject to bargaining. It's clear in the union contracts that you retain that management right, but you certainly could meet with the impacted employees and get some feedback on what might be workable too. And then report back to that council meeting.
Your second report was on the contract for Caitlin to be able to rent the teen center out, and it met all of the counselors' requested.
Yep, I'm fine with, as far as legal review of the teen center responsibility form, I'm fine with it.
I would like to make a motion that we add that to new business, so we can go ahead and, we can. We have to add it next time. Oh.
It was,
One of the things we talked about is it might have been actually approved in a prior meeting subject to legal review.
I believe that's how it was. So as long as Mitch, so it's already approved.
I think it's already been approved subject to legal review and I'm fine with it, so I think it's in effect then.
okay.
Does that sound like, is that what happened? I don't know that number yet.
Yes, we double checked the minutes before. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Unfinished business, upcoming garbage contract expiration, approved garbage service contract with Northern Routes roll-off. Approved brush recycling and plants contract with Northern Routes roll-off.
We're gonna move, we do not approve the contract and as it is presented to the city at this time. I think we need to look at some modifications to it, which I have, I'm ready to present.
I'll second that for discussion.
But what I've been doing some thinking almost every day, hour after hour, and I'm not happy with number 2 as it comes to the brush and the collection at all. I think it's cumbersome. I don't think it's workable. I think what we should do is approve a flat rate for the garbage contract and add $1 or $2 a month to that rate to include the brush recycling, the appliance pickup as we have now. I don't like the idea of him charging driver and truck blank an hour, so much an hour. I think this should all be rolled into one fee and keep the collection as it's been this year. I mean, for the last 19 years. So, and I think we can do that by adding maybe $2 a month to the homeowner's contract. Because you have from November to like say the end of March, you have 5 months where you're not picking up any brush. You might pick up an appliance or so. So there's 5 months that he would have things in the bank, and at about 900 homes, a couple dollars, that's $1,800 a month. Then that would help him defray his costs in the summertime. And that fee would hold through the summertime. It would be one fee that the city people up here could manage, put on a garbage bill, and I think it would simplify it, and I think this is the way we should go.
Just one more line item on garbage.
Well, we would rewrite the contract, and plus, we did not get an agreement on the language that we have currently in our contract. You know, we have a pretty good contract that says what his responsibility is and so on and so forth. This has not been a part of what we've been talking about. He's added like we have to have the lids attached to the can. Well, there's also a part in that contract that says they have to put the covers back on the can too. And I want that in, and I want that understood, that, you know, this goes both ways. So this is just my thought. We're going up to, I forget now, I don't have the figure with it, Kathy, maybe $83 a month or something like that.
87.
How much, 87?
A quarter.
Quarterly.
Quarter,
Yeah.
yeah. Pardon me. Add a couple dollars to that, make it 89.
That number was wrong. It's actually $93 with the collection, the state tax, the county tax, everything. I have a special person at home that went through the numbers, and it was 93 that it would not be 87. Also, I also thought we asked Eric to give us a price if he took and did everything. Did we ask that?
Yes.
That he would take care of the building, the contracts with the individual homes, everything, and we haven't got that yet.
No, we
And
haven't.
now we're supposed to
Make a
decision on just the one thing he presented to us, and we haven't received all the information. So I also agree with Jim that we need to table this until the next council meeting, so we have everything. And we can make the best decision for the people.
And we have to have someone contact him, have his contact, Eric, and let him know what we're missing. I'm sorry. We need to then direct Kathy to contact Eric and let him know the things we're missing so he can come up with that number. So I guess we have a motion on the table. Any other
To not approve the contract at this time.
Seconded by Paul. Any other discussion? Roll call?
Hoheisel.
Yes.
Lassie.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Anderson absent. Lassie.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Next one, well, committee reports. A recreation request to form arena marketing committee.
So that came up in our meeting, and it's just asking permission from you guys to have some community members form a group that will work on marketing the arena and getting some tournaments set up and helping us out a little bit.
Has this gone through your committee?
It did, yeah, yep,
I think it's a good idea.
okay.
How many people would be on that?
We didn't pick a number, so I'm kind of new to committee, so I'm sure there's at least so many that we would need, but do you guys have any?
I'm thinking we're gonna try to get 4 to 5 people on that committee. And we need people from different aspects of use of the arena, you know, bigger skating club and some hockey people and
Yep.
you know, you have some other ideas also, so
Yep.
just kind of, instead of laying all this on Caitlin, she doesn't really have the time until we can refine some stuff, and then she can write some letter, you know, she can take over some of that marketing, but we need to give her the nuts and bolts of what we can come up with.
Yeah, it's been a goal of the rec department, or the rec board to market that arena quite a bit more. And one of our members had a good idea to take the load off of me, because that's its own whole project, that marketing aspect. And get some people together to help market it, and then I facilitate it, so.
Yeah, several heads are a lot better than one.
Yes, yeah,
And the more input you get, the better.
yeah,
Try to reach out, get people from different walks of the community,
Yeah.
maybe look at the business area.
Yeah.
Because they certainly have a stake in it. But yeah, and I don't think you should limit your committee or go in with a preconceived number.
okay,
Just go in and get as many good people as you can.
yeah, I'm excited that people are offering and to do it, so, yeah,
And we'll try to keep our meetings open to people that wanna.
yes,
That's also.
yes.
And then, would this committee report to the rec commission?
Yep,
And
yes,
then from there, it would come to the council if anything
yep,
business-wise would go on with the arena.
yes.
All right.
No, we need a motion.
I'll move we sanction the arena marketing committee request.
And I'll second that motion.
Any other discussion? Moved by Jim, second by Joe. Roll call? I don't know. All in favor? Oh, well. All in favor?
Aye.
Under number 10A. Can you hear me, Kirsten?
I can, I haven't heard any.
Anybody else?
Complaints.
Am I not talking into that?
I can hear you fine.
I know. That's better.
There you go.
All right. Try to get that out of here. New business, amendment to ordinance number 90, liquor sales and consumption.
Mayor, council, I requested that this be put on the agenda because our current ordinance regarding liquor consumption in public places is very restrictive and prohibitive. As a matter of fact, it's so bad right now that you cannot even go to the beach and have a picnic and drink a beer. And it could carry over into our campground, into other public parks, because it prohibits any alcohol consumption in public places, including our parks. And I don't think when we did the ordinance that our intent was to be that restricted. So I don't know, Mitch, I referred it to you. Do you have any thoughts about this?
Yeah, we can, I think what we can do is we can take a look at it and we could probably come up with some language that maybe is a better fit for the fact that you do have places here in the city where realistically, you know, people as part of using the beach or what have you would probably, you know, have a cooler and maybe drink some beers. And so we can revamp it. There's a number of ordinances at play here, but we probably would have to do an amendment, but we could put something together as a draft or a model and have you look at it to try to address that.
Okay, I'll move we direct the attorney to study and come up with a model that we can consider at a later date.
Mitch, I think most communities have similar ordinances.
Yeah.
Right? And I think they kind of rely on the responsibility of people. And I know everybody's got ordinances, a lot of them are kind of a little bit overlooked. I mean, they don't focus on them unless they have a problem, and that's why they have that ordinance, so if there is a problem, they can focus on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're hoping that we don't lose a bunch of, I don't know if you would call it privilege or whatever, you know, we like to be like a lot of the other communities are and have a little bit of a leeway.
Yeah, and there's a number of cities in the area who are very similarly situated to Babbitt, where you have, for example, you have beach, you have arena, you have those types of facilities that people, especially in the summertime, campground, municipal campground and beaches where people would go and obviously, probably consume some alcoholic beverages. And so we can do some research on that and come back with something that would be a good fit for the practical reality of what actually happens, right, in the community. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I did make a motion.
And I second that motion, which was to have Mitch go ahead and see about amendments to the various ordinances that would be effective.
Motion by Jim, second by Joe. Any other discussion? Is that a roll call since Mitch is going to work on it?
Heisel.
Yes.
Lassie.
Yes,
White.
Yes.
Anderson absent. Lossing.
Yes. Item B, approve Mayor Lasky's attendance at the LMC Annual Conference. What date? Kathy, what date is that?
it's around June 20th or so, 21st, 23rd.
June 21st through the 23rd.
Okay.
My motion, we allow Mayor Lawson to attend the LMC annual conference and pay for his travel and food expenses while he's there.
I would second that, because we had an offer an amendment to that. That if any other counselors wish to go, I mean, it's historic. I don't believe we've had anybody go for years.
Isn't this the,
As the League of Minnesota Cities. I don't
isn't
know.
one name North Virginia?
No, this is completely different from that.
Okay.
This one is in Duluth.
So it's a couple of days. With that amendment?
Yeah, I would second and wish to add an amendment to it, if that's okay with Joe.
That is okay.
That would be, you can go, I can go.
Yes, no, I agree.
Absolutely, that's,
Yep.
They're especially good for new counselors.
All right,
What were the dates again?
June 21st through the 23rd?
Correct.
I will in for.
16 and 18.
We want to make
Motion by Jim, second by Joe.
Joe.
Motion by Joe, second by Jim, to approve attendance of council members at the League of Minnesota Cities Annual Conference. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call?
Heisel.
Yes.
Lassie.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Anderson absent. Lossing.
Yes. Letter C, Ambulance Department Recognition Permission.
I had asked to put that in. We were gonna wait until the next meeting, not to let the cat out of the bag, but being that it's already out of the bag. Mike Ryan is gonna be awarded the Star of Life by the state of Minnesota in the upcoming week. And, you know, we don't have a lot of people we have a few in our city that have devoted, I'm talking over 30 years of their life to our community. And for Mike to get this honor is a big deal, at least for our department. And I'm asking that the city council support him. We're having a little celebratory dinner tonight at the ambulance hall before a meeting that the council members and Mr. Mayor, you all are invited to, and the city staff as well. Tonight, that's
Can't
it.
do it unless we just rescind this meeting.
It'll be after.
Yeah, but it's, can't have city people together. It'd be a meeting, so we just have to,
Only two of us can go. So we discuss that after.
Okay. I'll be there. But anyway, I wanted to recognize them for that, and like I said, I was gonna do it after he gets the star, but just, I think we should honor, there's other people in our community too, as they get ready to retire, that should get full honors for stuff like that.
we should have city staff write up a letter of appreciation for Mike Ryan. I do appreciate Mike doing over 30 years and for being on the ambulance department and addressing to him within the coming week or so.
We need to make a motion on that. That's not right, but- Okay, I'll second that motion. Motion by Paul, second by Dwayne, We have city staff write a letter of recognition and thank you to Mike Ryan. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
D, broken heat pump in north wing of municipal center.
We are waiting on a quote. Number 18 is down, number 17 was down. They took parts out of 18 to just make 17 work for now. I'm waiting on a quote. I've called him several times. He's busy right now, but anticipating it will be somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000 to replace it.
Thank you, Kathy.
Is that just for the one or?
That is just, it's just for one. The 17 is running right now, but the 18 is done, and that is Caitlin's area right now.
The teen center.
There's no heat on that end.
We've been using space heaters since the teen center opened up and just opening the doors to the hallway.
On that note, I spoke with Mark from Northern Ground Source here a while back, and the system has really served the building well. It saved basically 70%. He would, if we ever wanted to, he would come and give us a presentation and tell us what we have, what our future looks like. What I got out of it, 70% of our heat is coming for just about nothing out of the ground. So it did what it was designed to do, and everything has a life expectancy, and unfortunately, that's where we're at. So, but there's some other good things I won't touch on right now, but if we were ever interested in having him come up and learning more about what we got as we get, because this is going to continue on, and he can give us more of a roadmap of how this will go.
I think as we're looking at repairs, substantial repairs to this building, it wouldn't hurt to have him come up and explain where he's coming from, because we're gonna have to make some decisions. See, the next item on here is a leaky roof. And we've been looking at a roof, we've been looking at a heat system. We're looking at possibly replacing this building. And the more information we get, the better decision we can make. So I would say, yeah, go ahead and get him up here, and I'm all ears.
Sooner the better?
Yeah.
Okay.
On that note, I guess I could add as information, there's 27 of those heat pumps in this facility. So we just replaced one at the PD recently, failed, and this is the second one to drop out completely.
What was the cost of the one you replaced, Tony?
It was 17,000, 18,000.
Yeah, over 13.
So
We're looking at 15 to 20,000 replacing a bunch of heat pumps.
times 27, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And the roof.
900 and some thousand was quoted last year for the roof. Anyway, move on. Sorry, we're not there yet.
While you guys are talking about that, there also is, there's grants through USDA for new buildings that I think we would qualify where the project would be 75% paid for through the grant. FYI, so something to look into through USDA.
Okay, did we need a motion to go ahead and pay for this pump? Or have them
No,
come in?
we haven't received the quote yet.
All right.
So we don't need a
Yes.
motion. Letter F, leaking ceiling throughout the municipal center.
I asked that we put this on there because Monday, was it last week, I came into work and we had a ceiling tile that had soaked through and fallen onto the gym that I cleaned up. And so it's leaking significantly by the elevator and in that area of the gym, and then behind the stage as well. It has now frozen again, but I'm waiting for the rest of this week. I think we're gonna have quite a few leaks popping up.
There was also one in that hallway last week at the same time as hers.
The fitness center was leaking about a month ago, so we've had a few.
We have numerous leaks throughout
Yeah.
the building.
The one behind the stage was within a couple of feet of our computer brains as well for the building.
Anybody have a solution? How much Flex Seal do you have, Tony?
Not enough. In 2022, we spent, I think, 15,000 making roof repairs just last summer.
I think the leak by the elevator it was by a drain, so the drain could potentially be frozen or clogged. I don't know who you have look at that, but, so that could be something that is fixable, possibly.
Well, I guess there's nothing we can do at this time.
No, it's just information.
Document it.
Okay. If we ran into like an emergency situation where, let's say it was dripping on the computer brains behind the stage, who should we contact? I feel like that's an emergency or we should
It's
contact.
just us to make
right?
something up. They can't do anything with it.
Is there anything anybody you would like us to contact to keep from things getting damaged, very expensive things getting damaged?
Oh, I guess the insurance company, make sure we're covered. Fire tar.
Yeah, I don't have a solution to
Well,
that.
if it looks like it's gonna drip on, electrical stuff, hopefully you could have Tony or someone come and divert the water at least a little bit.
That's it. It's just deflection at best.
That's all, if that's all you can do, then that's all you can do.
I just wanted to make sure we were meeting
And,
notification.
and noting all those spots is a good thing, because when it dries up, you know, when the ice is gone and the snow is gone, you know, having at least an idea where you're looking for, a leak. Because without water on the roof, it's kind of hard to find the leak at that time. I mean, you can see where it stained the tiles and stuff like that, so just make good documentation.
Yeah,
Have they ever looked, and I've never been, you know, I don't know what the city's done before, has there ever been a conversation about putting a shed roof on, putting some trusses on it, putting some metal up there and diverting it all back?
No.
Versus, spending $1 million on another flat roof that's gonna be done in 20 years?
Right. And no, that conversation has never been had.
That may be something, as we go forward and have to make this decision, is an option to look at flat roofs in northern Minnesota. This is what you get.
So let me remind you, we already have SEH working on that too, right? SEH is gonna come here this summer when we can see what we're working with, and get a assessment of what our actual building is. Jason's working on putting that proposal together right now on what that's gonna cost, to look at what we have, what maybe we should have, what options we would have to do with the roof, the heating system, the rest of the issues that we're having with the facility, to try and bring the building up to date here. I mean, right now, you know, if you add up the heating system and the roof, we're looking at, you know, a couple $1 million worth of repairs that need to happen. So SEH is working on a proposal to bring to you to do a full building assessment and figure out what our best next action would be and what the costs to actually do something about it would run.
We need accurate costs, because replacing 27 heaters is only $486,000, not $1 million. At $18,000 per unit.
I know, but all the plumbing running to those is
No,
shot too.
I understand that, I'm just saying.
No, yeah, I know, and that's what I'm saying, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, we don't need to discuss it right now. Mark will give us according to him, the pipe in the ground out there has a 200-year
That is, right. But have you looked at the plumbing inside the facility? Running to these heat pumps? It's wasted. So, it's got scale on it. It's twice the size as it should be. Running in and out of these heat pumps.
We'll get information from the pros and see, that's how we'll make decisions and put dollar figures to it. Moving on to, facility restrooms, letter F.
Okay, that's me. I was up here this afternoon doing the audit and this morning approached by a couple ladies who informed me that the stools in the facilities are very, very low and difficult to get up out of. They're made, I guess, for elementary kids, and as you get up into the ages, you have low stools and they're hard to get out of even when you have a handrail. So I was just wondering, maybe throw it on Tony, have we looked at this before? Is it a possibility that we could get stools that are higher, 3-4 inches higher?
Well, I would imagine that they make them. It's a wall mount fixture.
Yeah, I know, I looked at that and it is a wall mount.
I'm sure that they make the fixture. I know that those are very expensive fixtures, but I could ask a plumber to have a look at it, I guess.
I would appreciate if you would do that, because evidently it's just not these two ladies, it's everybody who uses both the men's and the women. They're both the same. So, and they're really not adult friendly. So if you could check that out, I'd appreciate that.
Sure.
There's two companies out there that are in our region. One is Good Company and the other one would be Ferguson out of Virginia that does all that commercial type stuff.
They carry the commercial fixtures. Right.
I mean, if we're looking for prices on it. Okay. That it, Jim?
That's it?
Okay. There we go.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second. Moved by Jim, seconded by Paul. Adjourn. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
EDA. Oh, EDA. Calling the regular meeting of the Data Economic Development Authority to order at 5:41. Roll call.
Hoheisel.
Here.
Lassie.
Here.
White.
Here.
Anderson Aston. Lotsy.
Public input? Hearing any public input? Hearing none? Approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on February 21st, 2023. Make motion to approve the minutes.
Second motion.
Motion by Joe. Motion by Paul, second by Joe. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Additions or deletions? I would like to add discussing abolishing this committee and creating a new committee with some community members on it, maybe a council member or two, and getting some business people involved. I've been kind of feeling around, I think there's some people out there that might have some passion for this.
Okay, you can't say, we'll just add it. I'll move to approve the addition. Okay. Because we can't talk about it.
Oh,
so we add it.
I'll second it.
Motion by Jim, second by Joe to add the addition to converse about. A under new business. New members, maybe we don't have to launch, maybe we just change membership.
Yeah, we do, we'll talk
Yeah,
about
we'll
it.
launch it. Okay.
There's procedures.
Okay. Any discussion? Is that a roll call, Kathy? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 6, loan update.
That's just information.
Everything's going well. It's, all to date.
Everybody's up to date? All right. Number 7, unfinished business. Any unfinished business? Hearing none. Number 8, new business. Letter A.
Right. Lead off with this, the Economic Development Authority is established by ordinance. So number 1, if we're going to do anything, we would have to redo the ordinance.
Get an amendment to the ordinance.
And number 2, your idea has been tried in the past. We've never been able to get anybody who's willing to serve.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm not opposing your idea, but I'm just saying from past experience, this is why we're sitting here as an economic development. Because we can't get anybody from the public who wanted to serve.
So
It's been
I
tried.
just wanted to have the discussion to see what you guys' views on it. If we were able to get people from the public, if we put some feelers out there at this time when we thought we had a group of people, we can have this discussion again, we can talk about it, or what would the procedure be?
I think the last time we had citizen members on here, it was the EDA of 8 people. There was 5 regular counselors and then 3 city people sat in on it. And I guess there was no change. But it's good if you wanna put it out there. I'm not opposed to it.
I don't think we do that. I mean, in my opinion, maybe it's not necessarily just my opinion, but the thought would be that we would only maybe have 1 or 2 council members and we'd have more, do we have to have the whole council on it? No, okay.
You can establish this committee to be anything you want. You don't even need any counselors on it.
Okay.
And boy, that would make me kind of happy.
And nothing against how it's working now, it's just, you know, maybe we could get some people with a little bit of, that want to invest some time in this stuff, and we got, you know, there's plenty of things for us to do already as council members. You know, so, I'd like to throw it out there and see if there's anybody bites on it, you know, and see what we come up with. We come up with key business people in the community, we can, maybe move forward with it.
Yes, I think it's a good idea if you can get outside people to just serve on this thing, because, you know, they have different ideas, fresh ideas, and they're not as stale as ours. I mean, admittedly, we've done nothing for like 10 years.
Okay, is there,
The loans don't say that, Jim.
What?
The loans don't say
The
that.
loans.
We did
Yeah.
do a lot as EDA. I know we should do a lot more, but we haven't, but the loans prove us.
Yeah.
That statement wrong.
how did, the loans that we have, so there was money out there that we loaned to businesses, which I see when I look at the paperwork, right? There was, that was money, where did that money,
Do you know what's in the?
where did the money come from?
Some of it was COVID money, some was money that we have.
Okay, so EDA has money right now also.
EDA does have an account.
If you got a group together and they wanted to try some sort of a marketing thing, because we have some property around here that we should be waving in the air to businesses or whatever, you know, I mean, it's the same old song and dance. It's been like this for 40 years here about it, you know.
There was 2 rounds, I think, of COVID relief that we received that we gave out to businesses. You can see it from the balances. But we also have, I'm not sure whether it's 70 or 80,000. 221,000. How much?
221.
Wow.
So your summary
This
of
is, okay, so I'm just gonna make up a long list of people and talk to a few people and see if we can't turn it into a shorter list or whatever, get some people, maybe not, maybe we'll get nobody, but, I just wanted to run that by you guys and see what your thoughts were, and, this is on a side note, it's kind of the same thing though. Where is the commercial, let me see. We used to have property, it was right to the right when you turned down the conservation club, or right to the left, and it was developed, it was zoned for, industrial at one time.
That was rezoned a long time ago.
Okay, where is,
Right now, that area is zoned for residential.
it is?
Yeah.
Where is our industrial zoning?
We have none. We have not been able to come up with a suitable spot for an industrial. The last time we tried was to go across the highway on the Country Club Road.
Mhm.
We were looking at making a trade with the DNR
Okay.
for some of their lands, for some of our wetlands. That kind of never materialized. The DNR was a little reluctant, but that doesn't mean we cannot try again, because a spot right across on the Country Club Road would make an ideal industrial park. But then again, the DNR values trees quite a bit too.
So with that, I thought everything on the other side is set, if we purchased the land, it would be ours, then we'd be able to tax for it, I get it. Right.
And then we would annex that area if we were able to get that land. And that is an ideal spot.
Right.
Other than that, if you go down south of town here, you're running into a lot of wetlands,
Right.
which is not suitable for development.
No. That spot that is basically across from Dollar General right now is now zoned for residential, is what you're saying. I mean, if this whole thing flourished all of a sudden, there were some satellite businesses that wanted to come in, I guess we could have a discussion whether we wanted to rechange the zoning in order to put light industry out there in order to accommodate something fast, because it might be such a thing that we would have to move quickly, and we do have infrastructure close to that already. Okay, if I start these conversations, these are the kind of things that they're gonna get asked. And that's what I'm saying. Okay. Thank you. That takes care of new business.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Paul, second by Jim, all in favor? Thank you, everybody.